I want to first ask you your first impressions of Africa when you came here last year and you visited a couple of countries. I think Kenya was one of them, Rwanda was one of them as well. What were your first impressions when you arrived into Africa for the first time?
Well, because I had a lot of wrong, message, information about Africa, like a poor and messy and all this stuff before I came.
Yeah.
When I landed, I was amazed by the nature. The people, they're so simple. When you look at their eyes, and full of passion. They want to change.
Yes.
Right. And I think it's a continent with young people. It's a continent with such a well-preserved nature, and especially the wildlife. I was amazed. So first, I think this is the land, the only continent that in the world that is preserved, and how we can develop in a way that protect the environment. Meanwhile, the economic growth.
Yes.
And the whole world should share with it and share for it. So this is something idea that I got.
And Africa is where you believe the future is. You were speaking with such great passion. I almost had tears in my eyes listening to you talking about Africa, saying that this is where the future is going to be. This is where the future of our entrepreneurs are going to be. And this is why you've invested in the Jack Ma Foundation and you've invested in the Entrepreneurs Project. Now, just tell us a bit about the project and why you've decided to invest into Africa.
Well, it's like, it reminds me, I do that 20 years ago in China, Alibaba. The same situation.
Yes.
So if you believe the future, and Africa is the future, if the Africa problem is not solved, the whole world is a big problem. Because if Africa is poor, and then the world is good, it's going to be a big problem in the future for the world. And Africa does not, that has a lot of huge potentials. I say, this is the land, young people. This is a land with great resources of inspiring people. I mean, these people are good. The only thing is that you should go and build up something. I think the Asian in the past 30 years and next to maybe 10 years, Asia it takes the leadership of driving the world economy.
Right.
So I think next to 30, 50 years, Africa will be the driver. The new driver is like an Asian do not have it. 20 years ago, nobody said Asian will be able to drive because they don't have money, they don't have resources, they don't have technology, right? Now Asia is going to that stage. Let's say the next way is the Africa.
Yeah.
What we should do is that is why the African entrepreneurs, the government, and everybody should build up the infrastructure. That's the opportunity. That's the investment. That's something we are planting for future.
And it's doing things differently because the way Alibaba was born, people said, well, the people from Harvard and this is how they did their online businesses. You came in with a different idea.
Yeah.
And that's the parallel that Africa's got because we can leapfrog all these technologies, right? When it comes to digital payments, when it comes to trading, however we do things, we can do things differently and actually lead the way in many of these technologies.
This is why I have this idea of entrepreneurs and young people, this prize for. I want to encourage it. We want to encourage the entrepreneurs to think differently. Because China e-commerce grow because of we have a terrible infrastructure of commerce. China mobile payment grow because we don't have a lot of banks. Africa, you don't have a lot of sophisticated banks. A lot of people don't have bank accounts, credit cards yet. This is opportunity. If you want to do the same way the Europe, American have been doing, difficult. Entrepreneurs have to think different.
And you believe that e-commerce has a massive potential on the continent as well?
Huge. E-commerce is designed for developing countries. E-commerce is designed for small business, not for big companies. Tell me any big companies, because of e-commerce they grow? Not a small business because of e-commerce they grow. China, they suddenly become such a huge e-commerce.
Yeah.
So e-commerce will help Africa a lot.
Your massive focus on women, your own company on women. Tell me about the inspiration of women in success.
I think without the women leadership in Alibaba will never, because the men, they drive fast, but they're going to sustain.
Yes.
The women in our companies, they are very wise, they're loyal, and they treat the customers, they pay attention to the user experience, so they are team players. So I think women in the 21st centuries will be the drivers of because the world does not need, in the past centuries, it's the competition of muscles, right? Now it's the competition of love, of care, of wisdom.
Yeah.
And women have care, women have love. So especially on the e-commerce, because you don't want to talk into a machine. You want to talk into people behind the machine. And women, they do so perfect job of that.
Mr. Ma, people are afraid of technology, artificial intelligence, big data. They're talking about robots and everything. People think that these things are going to take away their jobs, but it's also creating a whole new economy. What's your take on the future and AI and robotics and all these things?
Don't worry about technology. Every technology revolution, at the beginning, people worry about it. When the first technology comes, people worry. Second technology, the railway comes, people worry. Electricity, people worry, right?
Yeah.
When the car comes, people worry because they don't like all the horsemen will lose jobs.
Yes.
This technology revolution will destroy a lot of jobs. Will create a lot of new jobs.
Yes.
And artificial intelligence and robots will never replace people. Only those people who do not work hard, do not have confidence, do not study, they will be replaced.
What keeps you awake at night? Are there things in the world that you wish you could solve? Is it something that keeps you awake at night?
There are too many things keeping me wake up. But I can do only my part. I try my best to think the things I'm doing, the things we are doing, that can make a lot of people sleep well.
First trip to Africa, my impression was, wow, it's a land full of hope. Everywhere in the world, entrepreneurs are the same. They have hopes, they have dreams, they're never afraid of something they want to create. But I did not expect in Africa there are so many of them. I met them. When I see their eyes, when I talk to them, it looks like me 20 years ago. And I think this is a real entrepreneur. They believe in what they think, they believe what they're doing, and they want to make this thing big because they can help more people. This is the hope of Africa. If we can enable the entrepreneurs there, they may change Africa. I realize that I have to do something. The entrepreneurs, I think we should make them the heroes. They are brave. The team together to fight for the future. If the heroes succeed, a lot of people want to be heroes.